Good morning, everyone. It is Tuesday morning, which means it is time for another A Moment of Hope with Upward Transitions. This morning, I am joined by our current board president, Bob Lane. Good morning, Bob.
Good morning.
How are you this morning?
I'm doing well. It's a beautiful day out there.
It is. We are blessed with lucky, gorgeous weather in the middle of August this year.
Absolutely.
So this morning, I just wanted to take a minute and kind of touch base with you. You are our new board president. And so I just wanted to share, introduce you to the world, but also get some of your thoughts about Upward Transitions and your history with the organization, and your passion for the organization. You've been one of our greatest cheerleaders. And so I just wanted to see what your thoughts were about things. So tell us how you came to know Upward Transitions and how you came to be a part of the board.
Well, I actually came to Upward Transitions. I had a vague knowledge of Upward Transitions prior to being paired with the agency after I graduated through the United Way Board Serve program. I was aware of Upward Transitions from a little bit of contact through the United Way Day of Caring. My firm, BKD, has historically adopted Upward Transitions as one of the agencies that we send staff out to help on the Day of Caring. And so I had become familiar with them in that regard. Of course, the Board Serve program is such that when a participant is paired with an agency, it's not, you don't know who you're getting paired with until the graduation. And so the CEO at the time, Ray Beachy, was he obviously didn't know either, and so it was just one of those things that where the stars aligned, because I obviously have worked my entire career in human services, if you will, aging on the predominantly, and of course, Upward Transitions has that as part of its clientele, and so it just became it was a perfect fit.
That program is amazing about matching people with agencies, and so we've been fortunate to get some board members through that program, and you are one of them. So we're very, very thankful for that matching program. So, and so how long ago has that been? Remind me.
I came onto the board from the Board Serve program in 2016.
Okay, all right, and now you're president.
Yeah.
So. So what positions and what functions of the board did you serve before president?
Well, when I first came onto the board, as I said, Ray and I met for lunch one day, and he had begun the process of wanting to add some measurement, if you will, to help better inform some strategy and direction. And so he had he already had the vision of a performance quality improvement committee, which hadn't existed, as a committee with the agency previously. So he asked, with my background in quality improvement, he asked if I would be willing to step up and head up that effort. And so, that's predominantly the committee that I've been involved with since then, until, of course, stepping out of that role and into the board president. After that, participated in the governance committee as the president-elect, which is the kind of de facto role that the president-elect inherits. And so, and other involvement, sporadically with fund development, marketing, that sort of thing.
You know how much I love data and a good chart. So we appreciate all the good data that you have brought our way, and you've allowed us to see how we're really serving the community and how those metrics have really, kind of focused in our mission and purpose and allowed us to kind of evaluate some of our programs and mission and values. So that's really helpful. I'm glad to know that you were a part of bringing that to the organization. So that's really great. So as you enter your year of being president, what do you see as our most important work this year?
Wow. This, this past,
I know it's a big question.
the past 5 months has had the capacity to potentially derail our entire strategy for the year. The good thing though is that instead of derailing it, I think it's helped demonstrate how versatile and how easily able to pivot we have been able to do as an agency, both as a board as well as the staff. I think that with the pandemic and the impact that it is having on our clientele, I think our main emphasis has been for the last several months, and of course going forward as some of the restrictions are lifted, is going to be on mitigating evictions. A lot of our neighbors out there with housing instability are at tremendous risk once any of those restrictions are lifted, and it's kind of like the whole dam breaks, and that snowball effect happens, and we're not seeing it as much. We're not seeing it near what we're going to see it now as we are going to be in September, October. And of course, that as the prelude to the winter months when it's even worse for those who are, at risk of being pushed back out into homelessness. And so being able to utilize our resources effectively to help mitigate that. And of course, we always need more. There's just so much need out there, and we're great stewards of the funds that we have, but there's always a greater need than, the demand's greater than our ability to meet it.
I completely agree. Our case managers have gone with the flow of shifting the balance of their work. Our staff is amazing for really paying attention to what the community needs. And I think you're absolutely right that our work is going to be on the front lines of this eviction crisis that is going to come. I think you're absolutely right. And luckily, we've been able to be a part of those really important conversations in our community, and hopefully that will continue into this next year. And so I'm really glad that we have an amazing board that supports us as we shift and as we listen to the community that allows us to do those kind of readjustments as in our work. So, so from your experience, you've been with the organization, and you said you started out with just a little bit of knowledge, and now you've gained all of this knowledge from being on the board. So what would you tell someone that was maybe Bob from 4 years ago? What would you tell someone that doesn't know anything about us? What would you tell somebody in the community about upward transitions? How would you explain us to them?
Okay. Well, what I would say is, we serve as a stopgap. We're the last line of defense for a lot of families. Single moms with kids, or grandparents who may be thrust into a role where they're trying to raise their grandchildren because of various reasons. We're that last line of defense for those families that are at risk. They've been able to take a step, make that upward transition, if you will, into some level of stable housing. But they may be just 1 month away from not meeting a rent payment or not being able to pay their utilities. And without us, then the that whole cycle of poverty there's no chance of it being broken. And so we're that last line of defense to help break that cycle of, what we call generational poverty, where those kids, all they know is that cycle where they go into housing, they go back out of housing. And so we are that stopgap. But we're so much more than that, because, I want to give a plug for our efforts. Historically, we just completed year 95 of being in existence. We're marching incredibly fast towards a century of service to this community. And we started out as Travelers Aid, and we still have that as a facet of our programs. All of those volunteers that are launching at the bit to get back out to the airport.
They really are.
they just, they are a critical aspect of our operation, and we've added some measurement within our PQI to help incorporate that, so that they're given their due, so to speak, in terms of our daily operations.
Yeah, I think best known secrets and organizations that kind of are right there behind the scenes doing this important work. And I think we've been that for 90 years. We've been right there behind the community, kind of holding up these vulnerable populations. And my hope is for the next 90 years is that we'll continue to build our foundation so that they can stay strong. Is that those populations will get stronger and not have to lean as hard on the social services that are available, because you and I both know that the statistics tell us that an infusion of as little as $1,000 into a family, which can be a rent payment and a utility payment, or maybe just your rent payment, can change the trajectory of a family for a lifetime.
Absolutely.
And that's why we're here. We do ID work, we do rent work, we do this Travelers Aid work, and we are there to catch them from falling. You and I have support systems. We have people that we can turn to. We're there for the people that don't have those people to call and those support systems in place. Lots of the people that are calling us now during this COVID crisis are saying, I never thought I would have to make this call. I never knew that I would be in this situation. And it's because they don't have the networks of support and they don't know who else to call. And so I think you're exactly right, Bob. I think, we've been doing this work for 95 years, almost 100, and we'll be doing it hopefully for 100 more. And we're here exactly for that reason, to be that last step, hopefully, to break that cycle.
Yeah, it's that, it's not that we don't still work in the homeless arena. We do, but it's not exclusive, and the relationships, the partnerships that we have throughout the community, it's important to me, and I think it's important to all of us as a team, that we be great stewards of the funds that are afforded us, whether it be through United Way or through other private entities. We're a great investment, and because we do partner to make sure that those dollars go as far as they can. Whether it be for helping reestablish identities so that one can gain employment again, whether it get the being able to pay those utilities, whether the most recent grant that we received through the city of Oklahoma City in conjunction with Dragonfly House to help with case management activity relative to housing for or navigating the system for victims of human trafficking. There's just so much need out there, and we've got the absolute best case managers in the entire city and state, my estimation. And along with the stuff that you and Perry Ann and Tamara and all of the staff are doing, we've got an engaged board, we've got a great staff, and we've got resources, but we need more. And so to the community, anybody out there in the Facebook land, we're, our ability to continue to be a big league city, if you will, is going to be directly attributable to our ability to express our values of compassion, of respect. Not, we're all individual humans, and we need to keep that in mind, that it could happen to anybody. Mm-hmm. And the philanthropy that is out there is an opportunity to invest in our community by investing in our neighbors who have that housing instability.
Well, and Bob, you know that technically I'm a foreigner. I'm from Texas. And so don't hold that against me. But that is one of the things that I absolutely love about living in this metro. It is one of the most generous and compassionate places I have ever lived. So, I have seen people step up not only during COVID, but on behalf of their neighbor the entire time I've lived here. It's one of the reasons I love being a part of the Upward Transitions team, is because every day we see people taking care of people. And so I think that's just who we are as Oklahomans and people who live in Oklahoma City, is we are people who take care of people. And, one of the ways people can be a part of that is to be a part of the mission of Upward Transitions.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We don't hold that against you.
Hey, I said we Oklahomans. I'm owning it. I'm planting some roots. Come on. My kids consider themselves Oklahomans.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So now I have to ask you a fun story. Do you have a fun memory or story from your board service so far?
Oh gosh. I have to start with, I don't know how I ended up being the preordained grill master, but
yes.
It seems like for several years now, the burgers and the hot dogs. I'm trying to train I've got some succession planning going on, but
Good luck with that.
Yeah. So that's kind of where it starts, but it's being able to attend other functions. Certainly our annual American Tourist event, unfortunately, which didn't happen this year, but we'll be back on track to go to Paris next year. And always the camaraderie that I see within the board. It's not uncommon for, especially with the addition of other things, other events that you've helped organize, Micah, that the camaraderie that exists within the board and the staff, it just, we genuinely like each other and like spending time with each other. So that's really the fun stuff. I keep in mind that when I'm slaving over that grill and getting all greasy, that I'm doing it for a reason, and it's not and to be able to turn around after having grilled all those burgers and hot dogs, and to be able to see all of our neighbors there in downtown Oklahoma City who are enjoying a good meal at least for that day. And to see the volunteers that are there as well to help serve them. That does my heart good.
Yeah, that's a good day. That's a really good day. They told me I would love that day, and they were absolutely right. So our day of caring is pretty amazing. So, Bob, I just want to thank you for taking time out of your busy day to join us on our weekly moment of hope. And everybody, you can always learn more about the mission of Upward Transitions by going to upwardtransitions.org or checking out our Facebook page. And we'll be back next Tuesday with another moment of hope. Again, thanks, Bob, for joining us. And everybody, find a little hope in your day. Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.